Hi, I was calling to see if I can get some more information about your company.
And what type of route are you looking for?
Just an over-the-road position.
And how much experience do you have?
I'm fresh out of school. I just finished this past Friday.
Out of Tennessee, you said?
Yep.
Okay. Just a different department. Let me get you over to them real quick.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Flex framework error. Invalid request agent settings.
Wow. Okay. So I called in to CR England to find out what the company's all about. Talked to one guy, and I told him that I was a new driver, and he said that it was a different department's problem and sent me into a hold setting to transfer to that department. I sat on hold for 10 minutes, and then it just disconnected. Let's try again.
Please listen closely as our menu options have recently changed. Thank you for calling CR England Recruiting.
During none of this show.
Hi, I was calling to see if I can find out some more information about your company.
All right, great. And how much experience do you have?
I have no experience driving a truck other than the CDL school.
Okay, I don't have openings right now for drivers with no experience. I will have someone else to give you a call because I only need 90 days of experience because I need you to come and grab a truck and start driving on the experience side.
Okay. All right. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll make some other calls. Thank you. Okay, so they are not taking anybody with no experience currently. Let's try one more time.
Thank you for calling CR England Recruiting. If you have filled out an application and would like to speak with a recruiter, please press 1.
Let's see if I can get them with 6 months experience with Warner.
CR England, this is Richard.
Hey, Richard. I was calling to see if I can get some more information about your company.
All right. What was the phone number on your application? Let's start there.
What was that?
What was the phone number on your application? Let's start there.
I don't have an application in currently. I was trying to get some more information before I, fill out an application to come work with you guys, as far as like pay, route, and all that fun stuff.
See, that would go back to your area and what we have to offer in your area, and then the application typically would give you some information on, like, they're not, sometimes not even a full application, but, how much experience you have so I could give you a rate. What's your zip code? Let's start off there. Let's try that. Okay, now I have an Anheuser-Busch and a Pods account. Anheuser-Busch is out for 2 weeks at a time. Pods is out for 3 to 4 weeks at a time. Anheuser-Busch averages $1,519 a week. Top performers, top 10%, are coming in at $1,869 a week. Our Pods is out for 3 to 4 weeks at a time, home for 3 to 4 days. The average pay is $1,618 a week. Top performers are at $1,989 a week. How much verifiable tractor trailer driving experience do you have?
I currently work for Warner. I got 6 months experience with them. I went through their training and everything.
First year. Okay, so for Anheuser-Busch, you would be at 57 cents per mile.
57 cents per mile. And you said what? How much was the?
57.
Yeah, I got you. What was the home time on that? I'm sorry, you're speaking really quickly. I couldn't catch you.
2 to 3 weeks out.
2 to 3 weeks out. Okay.
And for 2 to 3 days at home.
Okay. Okay. And then what is that, a dedicated route then, or is it kind of just all over the place?
It's dedicated to Anheuser-Busch, but you could be going all 48 states.
Okay.
Dedicated for us means that you are servicing only one customer. OTR, you'd be servicing several different customers.
Do you guys have any over-the-road positions?
You're already doing, not you've ever seen the moving containers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they strap down on the back of a flatbed.
Okay, and then
So
what was
that
the
would be
cents?
pods account?
What was the cents per mile on that?
Cents per mile starting right now is 56 cents per mile because you're in your first year.
And does it go up per year by how much?
Yeah, every year anniversary you'll go up probably a penny or so. In the pods you'll go up 2 pennies once you've hit your 24th month. Because it goes from 56 to 58. On the Anheuser-Busch, 58 cents after your year, on your second year, 24 months.
Okay, so +1 and +2 on that. Okay. And can I ask what the reasoning is that over the road isn't available in this area of Tennessee?
Same reason why certain things we don't do in certain areas. Most companies, it all depends on what your freight looks like. On the East Coast, we're predominantly doing a lot of Anheuser-Busch, which is a dedicated account. We have several accounts that might go through the East Coast. But to get you home once every month, like we require all of our drivers to be home at least once a month, if not more, there's just not a lot of things moving for us in that area. For another company, very much maybe, but for us, no. Most of our freight is moving between the Midwest and West Coast.
Trying to figure out here, which side would you recommend as far as the Anheuser-Busch or the pods? What's like a typical?
It all depends on what you want to do. I mean, if you're okay with strapping down or tarp, not tarp, but strap down and drive a flatbed or a dry van or refrigerated. This is a dry van. Anheuser-Busch is a dry van. Pods is a flatbed.
So it doesn't pay more cents per mile for the extra work for a flatbed, or is there any strapping fees or anything that the driver makes?
I mean, both account requires you to secure the load. So strapping on a flatbed and not having to load or unload the flatbed or tarp it is not really as strenuous as anything different than what you're doing for Anheuser-Busch. You have to secure the load in the back of the trailer.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, but throwing straps versus stretching across from one wall to another is completely different. But that's fine. I mean, that's your guys' policy. I'm not worried about that. I was just curious.
Sorry, I'm about to jump into a meeting. If you'd like, I could call you back here in a few minutes. The meeting is about 50 minutes long. Probably 15 or 20 minutes long. All the recruiters have to go in real quick. Can I call you back here in a bit?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
All right. Give me a few minutes.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Wow. Okay. So what would that modified training look like with you guys?
Typically, if we verify somewhere between, just shy of 6 months, and we're just looking at usually like two weeks out with the co-driver. That's typically what that looks like. Okay, so for regional though, out of Kansas City, let's see. Which one were you looking at? Were you looking at the one that's like 6 out and 2 home, or did it say what those days look like?
Yeah, it's showing 5 days out, 2 days home.
Okay. Yep, we can do that. They're averaging about 2,200 miles a week on that one.
You said 2,200?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not dedicated, so it's just general dry van freight. So they're just trying to keep you in a small region around there where they can get you home after 5 days out.
Okay, and then just real quick, what is your guys' training like? Because I know over there with Warner it was a little bit wonky. What do you guys do for like training? Do you guys offer like CDL school or anything like that?
So you wouldn't have to go through a CDL school or anything, right? You already.
Yeah, I've already got it.
went
I was
through
just
that.
curious because I got a buddy that I was talking about maybe teaming with him at some time. So I was wanting to find out like what it would be for him to get in, and so I'm trying to get some information for him too. And
Knight has a CDL school in Phoenix, Arizona.
okay,
If somebody's trying to go do that, they'd have to, I don't know the details. I know that he'd have to provide his own transportation down there. They can include hotel in the tuition amount. Basically just be paying that back over time. I don't know, all the details on the payments and things and how that works. I think they work it out from what I've heard to where, like, he only has to do like a small down payment, and then as long as he's with the company, I think we basically equal out or balance out payments. So it's like we give a reimbursement each week when he's due for payment. So it kind of comes out as I don't know if it's exactly zero or close to it or something like that. But so as long as he's with Knight, basically he's getting all the money back. I don't know the details on that, and then I know a lot of my drivers will just find like schools in the area so they don't have to travel, and then we do a tuition reimbursement plan. So most of the guys that I hire that are new, they're going to a school close to home. But just as long as it's an accredited school that does at least 80 hours of instruction, then we'll be able to use that and then put them in with a trainer for between 4 to 6 weeks of training after they graduate. So,
and then you don't have any of the details on the tuition reimbursement and how that works out?
Yeah, the tuition reimbursement, I know. Like, so yeah, if he goes to a school, then there's also something you could look at is I've heard a lot of drivers will get help through different programs, grants and things where they don't even have to pay for the CDL school out of pocket. So that's always nice. But if they do end up having to pay for it and they're like on a payment plan, they just send us, once they're hired, they send us the receipt that shows the total tuition amount, and Knight will pay them an extra $35 a week. It's about $140 a month, right, to help them make those payments back to the school. So we pay it directly to the driver, not to the school. So the driver will still be making those payments, but we can, we're just kind of helping them out. And we don't have like a contract on that tuition reimbursement or anything. It's, as long as they're with Knight, we'll keep making those payments. If they leave before the total's paid back, then we just stop paying it. But they don't owe us anything back, So,
but there is a contract if you guys, if he were to go through truck driving school, like your guys' school in Phoenix.
I believe so, yes. Now we also do have a training agreement that is for anyone coming through training, and that would apply if you if you end up needing like a refresher training. So it's just for both of you potentially. Also not for you if we can verify the full 6 months, but for him definitely just to know that if anyone that's going to train with Knight, there's a form that you'd have to sign. You're basically just agreeing that you're going to stay with the company for 4 months after training or 30,000 solo miles. If you were to leave before that time frame, you just owe some training payback, which is just $2,000. You owe the company back.
Really?
We do pay while you're being trained. We pay while you're being trained at $650 a week. And then obviously we're paying the trainer and just through the hiring process and everything like that.
Okay, so a new driver would be responsible for paying for the training?
If they left before the 4 months was up after training. So just $2,000 that's not the full. The training cost is a lot more than that. It's just more of a deterrent really for people getting the training and then going to a company. What we were seeing, unfortunately, is drivers doing training and then going somewhere that didn't have trainers. They were just telling them, hey, go get training somewhere and then we'll take you on. So it's just trying to deter that type of behavior. But yeah, you get paid. He would get paid while he's in training. $650 a week while he's with the trainer. The training agreement is just basically just a contract that you'll stay with the company for 4 months, right?
Right.
So the only time you'd owe any money is if you left before fulfilling that contract. And once he finishes the training, he's going to go solo and start earning. Most of my new drivers are going to be somewhere between around $1,100 a week before taxes. It's typical. New drivers after training, they're going to make them do like more over the road.
Do you know what the cents per mile is, like the difference between the 6 month and somebody that's coming out of training, or is it the same?
Yeah, it's a couple cents difference. So if we can verify your full 6 months, you would be at starting between 47 to 54 cents So 47 cents would be the base rate for long hauls. Mid-length loads would pay 51 cents per mile. That's any loads between 200 to 300 miles. And the short hauls pay 54.
Okay, so that cents per mile is based off the distance of the trip itself?
Yep, distance of the trip, yeah. And then brand new driver just out of training would just be a little bit lower. It'd be 45 cents for the base rate to 53 cents. So
45 to 53 cents, same thing, same deal with the distance of the trip?
Yep.
Okay. Is it about the same range for about a year? Somebody with a year experience?
If you can get to a year experience, are you saying like you're gonna wait to join us until you get a year, or
no? I would come on board with you guys and do just spend some time with you guys to see if it's, because a lot of people will sit and say stuff that it's not accurate as far as recruiters go. I'm not saying that you are or anything, but once you're in it, you know more.
No, for sure. That's accurate. So, so once you're hired, then we do pay raises every 100,000 miles. So it's just it's set into the system. So some drivers can get there in 8 to 10 months. Sometimes it's 12 months to get there. It just depends how many miles you're running. But yeah, it'll be an automatic 1 cent pay raise every 100,000 miles. So
okay, and then is there any like other pay, like layover or detention or unload pay or anything like that on top of the mileage?
Yeah, they do have detention or layover pay. So if you, dry vans mostly drop and hook, but there are going to be some live unloads. And so if you're more than 2 hours, then they will pay you. It's not a lot, like 14 an hour.
$14 an hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. You said most is drop and hook, though.
Yeah, driving's mostly drop and hook.
Is there a payment for drop in, doing it like per each drop and hook, or is it just straight miles?
Yeah, just straight miles on that. Yeah.
Okay. How long did you say the training was? 4 to 6 weeks.
So, yeah, between 4 to 6, just depending on the trainer and how much time they feel like they need. Usually it's going to be about 2 weeks out at a time, and then get a break, back at home. Solely based off of the trainer and filling it out. It's not like a mileage or time-based thing. It is, the 4 weeks is the minimum. So, but yeah, 4 weeks. But after that, it's just based on between the trainee and the trainer deciding, is he ready to test out? Does he want to focus or work on some other things?
Hey Derek, I was calling to see if I can get any information from you about how much experience you guys require.
How much experience do you have? Who are you driving with right now?
I got 6 months experience, and I'm currently driving with Warner.
6 months? Is it all 6 months with Warner?
Yeah, I got my CDL with them.
Are you driving over the road?
Yes.
Are you driving over the road, or is it local or regional?
It's over the road.
Over the road. As long as you have a full 6 months, we'd be able to start you off on your own if you meet our other qualifications. It has to be like a full 6 months. If there's anything under that, we'd have to start you off with training.
Okay, and what would that training process look like? I'm pretty sure I'd have to check the exact date, but I'm pretty sure I'm right at 6 months.
It kind of depends. If it's just slightly under, we'd start you off with about 15,000 miles of team driving or training. The training would usually last about 3 weeks to about a month.
You said 3 weeks to a month?
Mm-hmm. Be 15,000 miles of team driving. On that 15,000, it'd be every mile that hits the truck that goes towards that total, including your trainers. On average, it usually lasts about 3 weeks to about a month. During that 15,000 miles of team driving or training, we'll guarantee that you make at least $900 a week as long as you're available to drive.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then with
after the team driving and training is done, at that point, you'd be solo.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
And then
what I would do, I would just try to figure your start date with Warner and then just call us back. If you're at a 6 month mark, like I said, at that point, we'd just be able to start you off on your own. I just check on that start date, because if you're close even to, it probably makes sense for you if you can just try to, kind of stomach it or work it out to try to hit that 6 month mark itself, just so you can come on as a solo driver.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm fine with sticking with them for a little bit longer. I'm just calling around to see what my options are today, even if, like I said, it can't be more than a week off. I was trying to see once I get to I'll wait and get to that 6 months, just so I don't have to sit with another another trainer. That sounds miserable.
Sure.
So what would we look at with that as far as cents per mile?
What kind of trailers are you pulling right now?
Just dry van.
The only thing we'd be able to do is refrigerated freight with starting without training. Are you okay with pulling reefer?
I guess it kind of just depends. I've heard that there's a lot of detention with
anything
that.
else, we'd have to start you out the training. And so right now we're only bringing tanker drivers that have tanker experience. If you want to do flatbed, once again, we'd still have to start you out that 15,000 miles of team driving or training. All we're bringing in for solo to start off immediately is with flatbed, with people that have flatbed experience. Are you okay with pulling reefer?
Yeah, I mean, I could be. Like I said, I was just curious about like what you guys do for detention on that. Is there detention pay with reefer?
It's like 15 cents. Yeah, 15 cents an hour, or $15 an hour for detention pay. Once you hit a certain mark, we start. If you want company, it's 50 cents a mile. We'd start you off on company lease operators who pay 72% of the line allowance to haul. Company drivers right now are averaging about $12.50 a week gross pay before taxes. Lease operators are averaging close to about $13.60 a week take home after all costs. So, all the information too. If you go to our website at driveforprime.com, all the information will be on that website.
Okay.
We're pretty transparent about the information there. If you just kind of keep an eye on that and compare it to the other offers you look at, if you decide that if you want to start with us, you put an application and we'll follow up with you.
Okay, and then what was the rough estimate on the miles per week on the reefer? You said
2,400.
2,400 miles per week.
2,400. Like I said, our drivers on the company are averaging about $12.50 a week gross pay before taxes. The lease operators are averaging close to about $13.60.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Thank you.
The Prime Training Program helps you earn your CDL with no cost to start. In addition, you pay nothing as long as you drive for Prime with your CDL for 1 year. This is an over-the-road training program that starts with a 3-day orientation in Springfield, Missouri, Salt Lake City, Utah, or Pittston, Pennsylvania. We cover the cost of transportation to orientation, 3 meals per day, and your hotel stay during orientation. Once you complete orientation, you train with a CDL instructor for 2 to 4 weeks with your permit out on the road. When you are ready, you come back to one of our Prime main 3 terminals to take the CDL exam. After you pass the CDL exam, you are eligible to be hired and can start getting paid a guarantee of $900 per week as long as you are available to drive during the second phase of training while you obtain at least 50,000 training miles. Once you complete your 50,000 training miles, you will be eligible for review to upgrade into your own truck. Upgrade eligibility is based on service, safety, and truck availability. During the training program, you will be out approximately 3 to 4 weeks at a time away from home.
PMC Recruiting, this is Gene.
Hey, Gene, how are you doing today?
All right.
Hey, I was calling to see if I can get some information about coming to work for you guys. I'll be graduating school here in the next week.
So we're offering flatbed regional home weekends. We pay percentage of revenue of the loads.
What's that percentage?
And about 2,000 miles a week, starting out at 26%. And currently, Tennessee-based drivers are averaging $13.60 a week before taxes.
Okay. And then on the weekend for home time, how much home time is that?
Averaging 44 to 46 hours.
44 to 46. And then as far as training, what does that look like?
2 weeks orientation and 4 weeks on the road training, and that's paid orientation and training $650 a week.
So it's $650 a week for that, and then you said 2 week orientation. Okay, and then it would go up to that 26% when I go solo.
Correct, and then you have the ability to go up to 32% after 30 days, and it tops out at 34% after 1 year.
You said 30% after how long?
32%. You have the ability to go up to 32% after 30 days.
Okay. And then a year you said 37?
34.
34. Okay. Sorry. I misunderstood you. Okay. And then outside of the percentage, is there anything else that you guys pay over, like layover detention?
Yeah, there's subsidy pay as well, but that averages into what I just gave you.
Okay, so everything is rolled into that percentage, including like TARP fees, layover, detention, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then on average, about how many miles is that doing a week?
2,000.
About 2,000 a week. And then as far as that 4 weeks on over-the-road training, that's where I'll get the majority of the flatbed training at. I've never run flatbed before.
Correct.
Okay. And then 2 other questions. Do you guys have cameras in your trucks?
We do, and we're incorporating, well, got front facing, we are incorporating cab as well.
Okay. And then are your trucks governed?
Yes, at 65.
65. And is that 65 straight or is that 65 on cruise too? Does it go up to 68 if you get on cruise?
That is 65 straight.
Okay. Awesome. Sounds good, Gene. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Rail Transport, this is Andrew.
Hey, Andrew. I was calling to see what your guys' CDL training program is like.
All right, where do you live?
Tennessee.
All right, awesome. So for you, that's 3 weeks of hands-on training, followed by a minimum of 19 days on the road with a driver trainer. And then once that driver trainer believes you can drive by yourself, you'll be issued a company truck, and then you'd start running routes for us.
Okay. And then I had seen online that your guys' CDL program is trained to get your CDL. How much does that pay?
So the first 3 weeks, you're getting $616 a week for training. Nothing's coming out of your pocket for it or your paycheck. When you're on the road with a driver trainer, you're getting paid $112 a day, and that's paid weekly. When you're on the road with them for a minimum of 19 straight days. Once that 19 straight days is done, and the driver believes that you can, or the driver trainer believes that you can drive by yourself, you'll be issued a company truck, and then you start running routes. Those routes you're going to get paid starting out anywhere between 46 to 61 cents per mile, driving anywhere from 1,800 to 2,300 miles a week.
Okay. And then what is the determining factors on that 46 to 61 cents per mile?
It all depends on how far you're going, what you're carrying, how long you're going to be on the road for with it, stuff like that. You would be able to get more in depth of that with talking to the recruiter.
Okay. And then as far as home time on once I go solo?
You're typically on the road starting out anywhere between 11, or you're on the road for 11 to 14 days with 3 days back home.
Okay. And then I'm still weighing out my options to figure out what I want to do as far as getting my CDL. If I were to go with a private institution, what is your guys' tuition reimbursement?
We don't do tuition reimbursement like that.
You don't do any tuition reimbursement?
No.
Okay. And
we're hiring you on as our employee to do our training, and then you're working for us. Like, you're going through our training to get your CDL and then driving for us. All we ask for in return is mileage.
Okay, and then what is, as far as return, what is the mileage? I'm guessing there's some sort of, not necessarily contract, but you have to work. I would have to work for you guys for a certain amount of time to be relinquished of the charges.
It's basically like we are investing in you for you to invest back into us with mileage. So we're asking that you would drive for 120,000 solo miles for us. That takes on average of a year and a half. But we do have new drivers getting that done before that year and a half mark.
All right. And then just a quick couple more questions. Do you guys have cameras in your trucks?
Yes, we do.
Road and cab?
Yes.
Okay. And then what are your guys' trucks governed at?
What do you mean?
Do you guys have governors on your trucks limiting the speed, max speed that you can go?
That's something I wouldn't know. You would have to apply and talk to a recruiter.
Okay. Is there any way I could be transferred to a recruiter?
You would have to apply, and then they would reach back out to you once they're done reviewing your application.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Rail Transport, this is Dre.
Hey, Dre. I was calling to see if I can get some more information about your company. I will be finishing up CDL school at the end of the week.
Okay. Yeah, what can I answer for you?
I was just calling to see what you guys are offering for new drivers.
Sure. So yeah, it looks like we have a couple of over-the-road options. So it's 11 to 14 days out. You get 3 days home, and then I have that in either drive-in or flatbed.
Okay. Yeah, I was considering both flatbed and drive-in. I know you guys offer both. What is the cents per mile on those? On each of them?
So we do a sliding mileage pay scale, so it depends on the length of the load that you're hauling. The average weekly for drive-in is like $1,260 a week. For flatbed, the average weekly is $1,410 a week.
Okay. And then what is the scale for cents per mile on that?
Yeah. So it would be, for flatbed it's 56 to $1.19 per mile. For drive-in it's 46 to $1.09 per mile, as well as you do get regular increases at 3, 6, and 12 months.
So I'm guessing that based off of the length of the trip is how much you get paid?
Correct.
Okay. So
Yep, those shorter distances you get paid more, just because it takes more time to do those loads.
I understand.
Especially if they're live too.
What is the amount of miles within those ranges? So like at the higher end at $1.19, that's quite a bit per mile.
Yeah. Right. 0 to 50 miles away, anything over 500 miles, you'd be getting that base pay basically. But I can send you out the full pay scale as well, so you can take a look at all of there's increments in between. So
okay,
I can get your email down and stuff and send you out the full information of that, and then also what our program consists of, so you can take a look through that.
Okay. And then as far as training, what does that look like? Because I'll just be getting my CDL.
Right. So we do orientation in either Conley, Georgia, or Gary, Indiana. We'll provide you your travel, your hotel, as well as your meals. After orientation, you'll go over the road with a driver trainer, and that'll be for 19 to 26 days. You'll be paid $400 for orientation, and then $112 a day for those 19 to 26 days.
And then on average, how much are each the flat and drive-in doing per week as far as mileage goes?
Well, for flatbed, you're kind of looking around 2,000 to 2,500. Drive-in averages 25, to 3,000s.
Awesome. And then I will be finishing up school, like I said. Do you guys offer any tuition reimbursement?
We do, yes. We reimburse you up to $6,000 at $150 a month.
Awesome. Okay. And then last question for you. Are your trucks governed?
Yes, to 65.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I would actually love to take a look at that pay scale and all that. Can I just go ahead and give you my email now?
Yep.
Awesome, buddy. I appreciate your time so much. Thanks for talking with me.
No problem.
Make a Rachel Lines Recruiting Department.
Hi, I was calling to see what you guys offer for new drivers. I'll be graduating CDL school at the end of next week.
Next week? Okay, cool. What we do here is we set our guys up through a new graduate training program. And, of course, we're a flatbed company, so we cover the flatbed securement and the operations. So we primarily deal with, construction and building materials, so that's mostly what we'll cover with you. And the way our training process is set up, it is a full 7 weeks. We have a location out in Alabama. We have one in North Carolina and Texas. And what it looks like is, you do get fully paid $750 every single week to go through it. The first week would just be an orientation. The second week would be a securement training, which covers the chaining, strapping, tarping, all the securement methods. And then after that second week, you'll have 4 full weeks of regional driver training with your mentor. And they'll pretty much just go over, like I said, the ins and outs of the operations. You'll get a chance to pick up loads and deliver loads to our customers. And once you finish that up, if you pass that training successfully, we bring you back to get your personal truck. And the good thing about it is, we start everybody out at 55 cents per mile. So right now, guys that have actually made it through the training, they're doing anywhere from about $1,300 to $1,500 a week, and we're able to get you home every single weekend. So, it's definitely a good setup. It is flatbed work, so it is physically demanding. We do an agility test just to make sure you're physically fit and cut out for the job. And like I said, if you can get through that, you should be good to go.
Okay, and now would I have to live close to a terminal or anything to be able to get home every weekend, or is it you guys just operate
No.
all over?
Yeah, that's pretty much just how we operate. We only cover the southern states, so we go east about 35 in Texas, over to Florida, the Carolinas, anywhere in between. So if you live down south, you won't have any issues as far as getting home.
Okay. Yeah, I live in Tennessee, and I mean, I got some family up in Indiana and stuff too. Would it be an issue to get up there from time to time?
As far as how our freight works, I mean, we're not going to Indiana as much, but I mean, if you ever have any opportunities, I mean, I wouldn't see why you would turn that load down if they got you somewhere up that way.
Gotcha. Okay. And then you said it's 55 cents per mile. About how many miles are we running a week?
You're looking at about anywhere from 18 to 2,300 miles. It just varies, on the week.
Gotcha. And then as I'll be graduating school here soon, do you guys do any tuition reimbursement?
Yeah, we'll pay up to $6,000 of tuition reimbursement, as long as you have the proper documentation for us to set it up for you.
Okay, and then how is that paid out, like weekly or monthly?
So I think it actually starts like 30 days after you've been in the truck, and they'll pay out, I think, like $214 every month or so until it's fully paid up.
Okay. And then do you guys have cameras in your trucks?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure any major trucking company is gonna have trucks in there. It's gonna be it's gonna be the one facing the driver and the one facing outside.
Gotcha. And then you said it's flatbed, so is there any extra pay for tarping?
We don't tarp as much. 75 to 80% of our freight is already pre-tarp, but we just teach you that method.
Okay, so I mean, on the other 25% or whatever, is there any pay for it?
Like I said, it just depends on the customer who you go to. Like I said, with trucking, there's not one size fits all. You may go to Lowe's, they may pay tarp. You might go to Georgia Pacific, they might not have it. So it just depends on where you're going.
Okay. And then what are your guys' trucks governed at?
We're governed at 66 miles per hour.
Awesome. And then you said, where are the training locations again?
We have one in Pleasant Hill, North Carolina. We have one in Cuba, Alabama. And we have another in Alabama, Texas.
Okay, and you said you mostly run southeast?
Yeah, that's all we run, the southeast region.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to check out a couple more companies and get back to you.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maverick Transportation. Your call may be monitored or recorded for quality or training purposes.
Maverick Transportation, this is Casey. How can I help you?
Hi, Casey. I was calling to see if I can get some more information about your CDL training program.
Okay, it's been a little bit since we spoke in there. Looks like we chatted back in 2016. So it's been a little bit. Well, tell me a little bit about kind of what you've been doing. Are you just now looking to get your CDL? It looks like you were in class when Lynn came to school back in 2016.
Yeah, I'm actually, I've been a CDL driver for quite some time, but now I run a YouTube channel actually trying to dive into companies and see what they're all about and try to advise drivers on based off of what, different companies are offering. So that's what I'm doing today.
I gotcha. Well, so what kind of questions do you have for me?
Well,
I'll try to help you out.
I've seen online that you guys offer a CDL training or apprenticeship program. I'm curious to see what that looks like as far as pay, how much time that takes, any sort of contract.
Yeah, so we do have a sponsorship program. We are hiring out of certain states for this program. I would have them coming down to Maverick Driving Academy, and they would work with our training team to obtain their CDL through that program, and then from there they would get their job offer, start procurement training, and then go out with a trainer for about 3 weeks before they are allowed to go solo. Now, there is a tuition agreement with this program. It is cost of about $8,000. And so I say about because if you come into our program with your permit, or we're even offering a virtual program, that would allow a $420 deduction right off the bat because we didn't have to put you up in lodging or breakfast and lunch during that first week.
Okay.
But $8,000, they'll pay $60 per week for 70 weeks, totaling out to be $4,200. And then Maverick will actually help reduce their debt. So we will forgive $40 a week for about 16 months. That will total out to be $2,800. Now, once that final $60 payment is made, Maverick will forgive that remaining $1,000. So basically, the contract itself is for around $8,000, and it is 70 weeks. So that's probably approximately like 16 months there to continue working with Maverick. Now, if they decide to leave at any point, we're not doing a non-compete. We just set up a payment plan to help pay back that loan.
So for the first couple of months there, you're paying $40 or $60 a week towards that $8,000.
So once they are hired on, they're going to be looking at getting $60 per week will be payroll deducted from their paycheck for 70 weeks.
For 70 weeks?
70 weeks, yes. And that's going to total out to be $4,200.
Okay, $4,200. And then you said...
As they work with Maverick, we actually forgive their debt at $40 per week for those 70 weeks. And that is going to total out to be $2,800. Now, once they make that final $60 payment, their last remaining $1,000 will be forgiven off of their debt. And so they'll be debt clean at that point. As you know, if the student obtains their CLP on their own or they attend our virtual CLP program, they will receive a $420 reduction in debt, and that would change where for a total of 63 payments instead of the original there.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're basically...
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, so 70 weeks. After that 70 weeks, effectively, all the money that would be owed is gone.
Yep.
Gotcha. And then as far as the training itself, how long is the training? So say we were to sign on and we get there, from point we get there till the end of it, how long is it to actually obtain the CDL?
So it's 4 weeks of CDL school. And then from there, they're going to receive their job offer once they obtain their CLP or their CDL. And then they'll do a week of securement training. And then they will get a 5-day paid break back home to kind of rest before being lined up with a road instructor for 3 weeks to complete over-the-road training. They'll come back to North Rock. They'll test out of that trainer truck. And then that is going to be when they receive their own truck prior to going solo.
Okay. And then is there pay during any of that CDL training process?
So once they obtain their CDL and they receive their job offer, that is when student training begins.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be at $700. Now, while they're in CDL school, they are not going to receive pay. We provide their transportation, the lodging while they are here, as well as breakfast and lunch for them. And then we give them a $50 prepaid card each week to help out with dinner or any other miscellaneous items that they want to purchase while they're here.
Okay, so basically you're covering living expenses except for dinners and have a $50 a week prepaid card.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. And then you said that training was 3 weeks. And then after that, we would come back to the terminal and then... You hop into your own truck. What's the pay when you go solo?
It ranges. So it could range depending on the division that they are coming into. But I can kind of give you a basic range. Give me just 1 second and let me pull that up for you. I thought I had that printed out on my desk. So if they're coming in through our flatbed, they would be looking at making 55 cents per mile. And if they are coming into our glass division, that would be 62 cents per mile.
And the reason for the additional for the glass would be just higher unload times?
So glass runs all 48 states and goes in and out of Canada. They typically stay out about 12 to 14 days, but it is more of a diverse fleet because they are hauling commercialized sheets of glass, but they're also available to haul flatbed loads as well.
Gotcha. So it's just a little bit more for the added work. Gotcha. And then the 55 cents per mile on flatbed, How long would you be staying out for that?
Traditionally, you're running during the week, getting home on the weekend. We just advise, due to the industry itself, that you know, be prepared to miss maybe 4 to 6 weekends out of the entire year.
Okay. And then if we wanted to drive more than just a week at a time, is that available?
Yeah, you can always adjust your RDO.
Okay. And then average miles for, let's just, both of them would be great, actually, flatbed and glass.
Yeah, so both have pretty much average around 2,000 to 2,300 miles each week. That's an average between our entire fleet. So as, you know, they gain experience and learn how to organize their time, they could earn up more.
Okay. And that's for both flatbed and glass?
That is, yes, correct.
Okay. And then do you guys offer any sort of tuition, or sorry, not tuition, detention pay?
We do. So detention pay there is going to be $15 an hour, starting after the second hour, so that, you know, everything is kind of taken care of there.
Awesome. And then as far as TARP fee?
So we do have TARP pay as well. Give me just 1 second.
Sorry for asking so many questions.
No, you are good. I just want to make sure I'm giving you the correct information. So TARP pay is $50, and then we offer stop pay at $30 as well.
And stop pay is you do a pickup and then a delivery. Anything in between would be considered a stop pay.
Yeah, so if like you pick up at a shipper and they give you, you know, a big load, and they say, I want this rack or this, you know, piece to go at this location and this piece to go here, and they're like 5 miles down the road from each other, we would give you $30 additional for that.
And then what are your guys' trucks governed at?
65.
And then I have seen your guys' trucks out on the road, and they are decked out with the cameras, so I'm not even going to ask you guys if you guys have cameras on your trucks. I know you guys do.
Yeah, so we have driver-facing as well as road-facing cameras, but what you are seeing is probably got to be the mirror eye, so it gives a 360 view around the entire truck to, you know, help you maneuver in tight spaces.
Okay. And then say somebody doesn't want to go and do your CDL training program, they want to go to a private institution. Do you guys offer any tuition reimbursement for those folks?
Yeah, it's capped at $5,000, and then we pay $100 to the applicant a month for them to reimburse the school itself.
And then last question, and this one is a new one from my subscriber base. Do you guys offer anything for veterans?
So we do have a veteran program. They can get like a little sticker on the truck to notate that they have served in the military. I don't think we have any other, you know, different programs for that, though.
Okay, I do believe that's all the questions I have, so I appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to give a call back.
Hey, thank you so much. Hi, Abby. I was calling to see if I can get some more information about coming to work for you guys.
Sure. What can I answer for you?
I am going to be graduating CDL school next Friday, and I was just curious about what you guys do as far as training and pay and all that fun stuff.
What CDL school are you attending?
TDI.
Oh, okay. Well, so new drivers with us start at 52 cents per mile, and we pay loaded and empty, plus it's $100 for any load that you tarp. We run all 48 states. We go coast to coast. And my drivers from your area are going to be out for 3 weeks and then home for 3 to 4 days. As far as the training, in total, there's 4 weeks. The first 8 days are in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's where the main terminal is located. And that's going to be doing the freight securement training and pre-hire evaluation. But we provide the transportation to Tulsa. We provide the hotel stay. And we also provide breakfast and lunch. And it's paid. It'll be $800 for those 8 days. And then from there is when you would do 3 weeks of road training with the driver trainer. And during that time, you're anywhere among 48 states, and that is paid at $700 a week.
So $700 a week with the road trainer, and then $100 a day for the training while you're doing the tarp and pre-employment?
Correct. It's $100 a day throughout the training period. It's just once you're on the trainer truck, it is paid to you weekly.
Okay. And then how long are you with a trainer?
3 weeks, 21 days.
Okay. Once you go solo, you said it's 52 cents per mile. What's the average miles per week?
Current average is 2,000 to 2,500 miles per week.
And then detention, do you guys pay detention?
We do. It starts on the third hour of being detained, and it's $20 an hour.
Okay. And then do you guys have cameras on your trucks?
We do. We have inward and outward facing.
Okay. And then what are your guys' trucks governed at?
68.
Awesome. And then one more question. Do you guys offer any sort of benefits or anything for veterans?
Yeah, so we have the military apprenticeship program. I don't know if anybody's talked to you about that, where you can access like your GI benefits for the first 2 years that you're over the road. And then, like, if, you know, obviously not everybody chooses to do that. But they do have special military decals for the trucks. And then we have, like, special military, I'm going to call it like a, kind of like a buddy system, like an apprenticeship with, you know, other veteran drivers here for Melton. And then we also have the tuition reimbursement as well.
Okay. And then is the tuition reimbursement for everybody or just vets?
Oh, it's for everybody.
Okay.
But, like, if you use your GI Bill, you still qualify for it.
Okay, gotcha. And then what is that tuition reimbursement?
It's paid out $150 a month every month, and it's up to $10,000 or the subtotal that you paid for the school.
Awesome. And then you guys don't offer any CDL training with you guys at all, do you?
We do not.
Okay, gotcha. All right, well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You as well. I heard from a friend that you guys offer a CDL training program. I was curious to see what that looked like.
Okay. What state do you live in?
Tennessee.
Okay. Closest program we can put you in would be our school out of Knoxville, Tennessee. That course is 3 weeks long. We do provide housing if you need it. Your out-of-pocket cost would be right at, I believe it's $100 even, and that's just for your permit and your license.
Okay. And during those 3 weeks, is there any pay?
No, sir. You're not paid during school. You are paid during your 6 weeks of over-the-road training once you complete the schooling. For those 6 weeks, you're paid $700 per week, and then solo pay begins at 50 cents a mile.
You said in the training, the training was 6 weeks, and how much did it pay?
$700 per week. That's for your over-the-road training once you complete school.
If I go through your guys' CDL training program, is there a contract that I'd have to complete with you guys?
Yes, sir. It's a 1-year contract.
And then if I were to finish up with getting the CDL through you guys, go through training, what would it look like as far as pay after that?
50 cents per mile is what new drivers start at.
Okay. What's the average miles? Go ahead.
On average, you'd be pulling in about $1,000 to $1,300 a week starting out.
Okay. And then what's your average miles per week?
25 to 2,800.
And then what's your guys' home time?
3 weeks out, 3 days home.
Okay. And then if I were to go to and get a CDL somewhere else, what would the tuition reimbursement be? Do you guys offer that?
Yes, sir. They'll reimburse tuition up to $7,500.
Okay. And that's paid out at?
Well, it just depends. They're going to make the monthly payment as long as you're employed with us.
Okay. So there's not like a maximum monthly payment that they'll pay out?
No, sir. It's just the total is $7,500, and then they'll just pay your monthly payments as long as you're employed with us.
Okay. All right. You guys do refrigerated, correct?
Correct.
Okay. What is detention pay?
The detention pay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. For detention and layover, it's going to be $20 per hour that it goes over the expected delivery time.
Okay. And it's not like a 2-hour expected for across the board?
Correct. It would be after the 2-hour mark.
Okay. Gotcha. How often do you guys do drop-in hooks? I know with refrigerated, a friend told me that it takes a while to get unloaded a lot.
Well, we're 95% no-touch freight, so we do pay lumpers to load and unload the truck. If you do any loading or unloading, you would get paid extra.
But as far as dropping the trailer and picking up a loaded one, you guys don't do that?
No, sir.
Okay. And then last couple questions. Do you guys have cameras in your trucks?
Yes, we do. Outward facing.
Outward only. Okay. And then what are your guys' trucks governed at?
64.
Is that the same while CDL training is going on, or does it go up?
No, sir. It stays at 64.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your time. I'll get back to you if I decide to go with you guys.
No worries. You enjoy your day.
All right. You as well. Bye. Over the road or regional is kind of what I'm looking towards for the start, just to get as much experience as I can.
Okay. So what we would do, we have an apprenticeship or an entry-level program that hires out of school. It does have 6 weeks of on-the-job training with whatever position you apply and hire onto. They do also have a 1-year commitment. So you'd be on the same job, same home time for a full year. Is that something you're okay with?
Yeah, I guess it just depends on what I get into, but yeah, presumably, yeah.
Okay. And then those positions would range from local to regional. So do you have a preference on your home time?
I would prefer, just more of a regional position, I guess. That would be like a Southeast regional or something like that.
Yeah, potentially. So local would be home every day. Regional would be out for 5-6 days at a time, covering most likely multiple states.
What's the difference in pay? You said locals every night?
Local will be home every day. The pay really just depends on the account. Right this moment, I don't have anything open, so I wouldn't be able to give you an estimate, but I could keep you updated once we've got some options.
Okay, so you guys aren't currently hiring?
So the entry-level positions, I don't have anything available currently. They just open and close pretty quickly, more limited. We have to wait for either a trainer or for the account to need another driver.
Okay, how frequently do those come along?
It's not really a set time frame, unfortunately. It just completely depends on freight volumes or their trainers' availability. They could open at any minute, or it could be a month.
Could be up to a month?
Yeah, it could be a month. It could be longer. It could be tomorrow. I really have no way of saying.
Gotcha. Okay, so, and then you couldn't give me any estimate on pay as far as local or regional?
I can see if there's any...
Like just a rough idea. I'm calling around to a bunch of companies today to try to figure out where I want to go to work, so...
Yeah, I understand. I can tell you during training you would be making $200 a day. After training, it goes onto the standard in the account. Some of the positions in the area, I've got local that's averaging about $73,000 a year, regional that's averaging about $92,000 a year, another regional about $82,000, $81,000. Those are the experienced positions, which when they do have an entry-level position, it's the same thing. They just have the training at the beginning of it, so the pay wouldn't be any different than a traditional account.
Okay, so
training.
So if I go on with you guys and I go through that 6 weeks worth of training, after that 6 weeks, I'd automatically go into driving solo and making the same amount as everybody else.
Yes.
Okay. And now is that a flat yearly rate, or is that cents per mile or daily rate? How do those pay?
Majority of the accounts are going to be an activity-based, which is usually a cents per mile and a pay per stop or different kind of breakdowns. Some of them have a daily rate as well. It'll depend on the account.
Okay. Do you have any sort of breakdown on that you could email me?
I don't. It'll depend on what job's open, and then it could be different on each account, and it could change. Once we have something open, I can definitely give you more information.
Okay, so here's the issue is that you guys don't have a whole lot of information as far as pay or anything online, and if I got to go on a contract for 1 year with you guys, I kind of like to know where things are lining up. Otherwise, I'm going to end up trapping myself for a year in something that I don't know what I'm really getting into. What is your guys' let's just stick with the regional. What is your guys' cents per mile for a regional position, just any old position in the area?
I will say, so with the 1 year commitment, I'm getting this pulled up as well. We would make sure to go over everything prior to that as well.
So there's an Emerald Carpets account out of Dalton, Georgia. It is regional. That position specifically is going to be making about $82,000 a year. So that's about $1,586 a week before taxes. That one's 55 cents per mile with an additional $25 for live stops, $15 an hour for detention after 2 hours.
Okay, and then the average miles per week on that account?
This one averages about 2,800 miles per week.
Okay. And then that you said that's regional and you're out 5 to 6 days. How long is the home time on those 5 to 6 days?
So this one's schedule is 5 days a week, 6 days during surge. And then you're home for your reset, which is if you're working 5 days, you're home too.
And being that I will have to serve a contract with you guys for coming on board with you, and I just recently graduated school, do you guys offer any sort of tuition reimbursement?
We do not have tuition reimbursement. And it wouldn't be a contract. It would be a verbal commitment that you wouldn't want. Basically an understanding that since we're hiring without experience providing training on the account, that we would like you to stay on the same account with JB Hunt for that year.
Okay, so the contract is to stay on the account, not to stay with JB Hunt.
So it would be a verbal commitment to stay with JB Hunt on that specific account.
Okay, so I guess I'm just confused by that. A verbal commitment to stick with JB Hunt and that account?
Yes. So since that account is the one training you, they would like you to stay with that account. JB Hunt does have a transfer portal. On experienced positions, it's usually between 3 months and 6 months that you have access to that transfer portal. But on the entry-level positions, they want a year.
Okay, so once I get in with you guys, I spend that year with you guys, I'm able to apply for a transfer of different accounts every 3 to 6 months?
If you were looking at other positions, yeah, you could, or if you were potentially relocating, anything like that, you can look at other JB Hunt accounts across the country or in the area.
Okay, and then you said these different numbers for the yearly, that's going to stay the same across the board, or does that 55, you said that 55 cents is different per account. Is there any timeline for increase of pay depending on my experience levels?
Some of the accounts, and I wouldn't quote me on this, some of the accounts do have like a minimum, not a minimum, an increase of cents per mile like each year. This specific one, I cannot see that.
Okay.
And as far as raises at the account goes, like if they do performance or yearly raises, I cannot see that. So I wouldn't be able to speak on that.
Gotcha.
Some of them have it laid out where I can see it. This one just doesn't.
I understand. Do you guys have cameras in your trucks?
Yes.
Inward and outward?
Yes.
Okay. And then what are your guys' trucks governed at?
62 and 65. I can double check that as well. Yep, standard. So 62, and then 65 on cruise.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Like I said, I'm looking into a bunch of different companies, just trying to get things figured out. So I'm going to take a look over this information that you give me to see if it's something that I want to go after or not.
Yeah, no problem. If you have any other questions, just give us a call back.
All right. Thank you so much, Kylie.
You as well. Have a good one.
You as well. Bye. Hi, I was calling to see what it would be like to come and work for you guys. I will be finishing up CDL school here this Friday.
Okay. Did you have any specific questions or?
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out what you guys are offering, what training looks like, cents per mile, miles, home time, tuition reimbursement, things like that.
Let's start with a couple things first, and then we can keep going from there, just so I don't forget anything. With you being entry level, we start at 41 cents per mile. The division that would be available would be the 48th State Division, which is out for 3 to 4 weeks at a time. It is primarily refrigerated freight, coast to coast. And then that one typically has a home time of a day per week. So if you're out for 3 to 4 weeks, that's 3 to 4 days.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then for orientation, that's typically 5 days. After that, you go out with a mentor for 2 to 6 days. And then after that, it's up to 10 days to, test out, make sure you're soloed out properly. So with that in mind, most people by the third week are out on their own soloing.
Okay, so after the 5 days of training, like and the orientation and stuff, normally 3 days after that people are done, or after the 2 to 6 days with a trainer?
So 3 weeks total. So 5 days out, or 5 days for orientation, 2 to 6 days with a mentor typically, and then up to 10 days after. So combined, about 3 weeks is average.
Okay, gotcha. And then what's the pay while you're in training?
So the Monday of orientation is not paid, but if you're hired, then Tuesday through Friday of orientation itself is paid at $15 an hour. After that, it's 120 days every day you're out with a mentor.
$120 a day?
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay, and then is there any sort of contract that I would have to serve with you guys for going through your guys' training?
So it's a W-2 position, so basic, employment, but you don't have to have a contract with us for a minimum time. You also wouldn't need it for a reimbursement, which would be it would be $60 every week to help you pay back what you had paid for school or help you pay back your loan. And that's all upon hire. And that's paid up until you either are no longer with the company or until it's paid off.
Okay, so it's $60 a week for tuition reimbursement.
Correct.
Gotcha. And there's no cap
contract
on that?
Well, there is a cap for when it's finished, but I haven't heard of a high cap for us, not being able to help complete a loan. So most loans we can handle. If it's an exuberant amount, I suppose that would be a discussion we would have, but I haven't heard of our cap.
Gotcha. Okay, sounds good. As far as the cents per mile, you said 41 cents per mile starting out. Now, what is the progression period, or when will that start to go up?
It goes to 43 at 3 months, 44 at 6 months, and then 55 at a year.
Okay.
I said 45, right? It was 45 at a year. I apologize. I wanted to make sure.
Oh yeah, I heard 55. I apologize. 45 at a year mark.
No, yeah.
Gotcha.
That's okay. Yeah, that's for a different division, so I wanted to make sure I said it properly. So, yeah, 45 with an average of about 9,000 miles in a month.
Okay, 9,000 a month.
Yep, that's typically average.
Okay. And then you had mentioned on the first day of orientation it's not paid, and you said if you are hired after that. What does that mean? What is that? Is that first day of orientation like a drug test or something?
Drug test, driving, backing skill test. Essentially, orientation is, not promised for hire. Most people aren't hired until about the Thursday or Friday of orientation.
Okay, so on that first week, you'll know whether or not you got the job either Thursday or Friday.
Yes, exactly. Because, you're doing classwork. We want to make sure it's something you're comfortable with, but we also want to make sure it's something that, we are seeing progression with as well. So to make sure it's a good fit, orientation this Tuesday through Friday, if hired, would be paid at the $15 an hour.
Okay, and then as far as transportation to get to orientation, do you guys do like a rental car or a bus ticket or anything like that?
We pay for hotel and travel accommodation. Anything more specific would need to be discussed during, scheduling. Since I wouldn't be able to promise what we would be able to do at this time.
Okay, gotcha. And then last couple questions here. Do you guys have cameras in your trucks?
We have outward-facing cameras. Technically, there are inward-facing cameras, but those can be blocked off as they're not utilized.
Okay, so you guys have them for insurance purposes, but it's not necessarily necessary to keep them running?
We have the internal ones because that's what the systems come with. We only activate the outward-facing cameras.
Gotcha. Okay. And then last question, what are your guys' trucks governed at?
So they're going to be starting at 61 miles per hour. And then once you have completed the 90-day probation, it can go up to 65.
All right. I think that is all the questions that I have for you. I'm calling around to different companies today trying to figure out where I want to go to work, so I will be in touch if I do decide to go with you guys.
Sounds good. If you are interested, you can apply at maintrucking.com or through the Driver Pulse app, and we'll be happy to help you pass that.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you. Hi, Brittany. I was calling to see what it would be like to come to work for you. I'm fixing to graduate CDL school come this Friday.
All right. So where you are now, we do have flatbed available in that area. Is that something that you would be interested in?
I was actually kind of looking at your dry van. I'm willing to relocate as well.
Gotcha. Okay. I can definitely see what we could do with that. Now, all is going to be 7 to 10 days out with 2 days home. You'd go through 4 weeks of training. That is going to be paid $1,000 a week, and then orientation is in that as well. So I say 5 weeks altogether because you have a week of orientation and then 4 weeks of training. All would just pay the $1,000, and then if you went into a flatbed, would be 50 cents. If we were able to do drive-in, that would be 45 cents per mile.
So it's 50 cents for flatbed.
Mm-hmm.
And then 45 for
drive-in.
For dry. Okay.
Mhm. Yep. And then, so you said you'll be graduating next week.
This coming up Friday is when I take my test to get my CDL.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. And then, you're good with being over the road because we are over the road. We do run anything east of I-35.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So, and we do offer benefits as well. So that's going to be offered after 60 days, health, dental, and vision. We do offer a 401k after you're with us for 6 months. We do have a passenger program and pet program. We do allow both. And of course, that is once you become a solo driver.
Okay.
The passenger is going to be $20 a month for the insurance. And of course, 10 years of age or older. Pet program, we allow up to 2, and just cat or dog, and then have to be up to date on the rabies vaccination.
Okay. And then as far as the cents per mile, dry van, you said 45 cents per mile. On average, how many miles a week is the dry vans doing?
We average around 2,500 miles a week.
Okay. And then for flatbed, is it the same?
Yep. Flatbed, we average around 2,500 a week as well.
Okay. And then...
Now...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, in all the divisions that we offer, we also offer the performance, fuel, and safety bonus as well. So there is a little extra in that.
What does that look like?
So I will get your email and send this information over so you can kind of have it in front of you to look at. But for performance bonus, that's a 4-week payout. Safety bonus is like 2 cents a mile, and the safety bonus is calculated quarterly, paid out annually. And then same with the fuel bonus, that's going to be quarterly payouts. And like if you're compliant with gallons filled, that's like 20 cents. Like I said, it would be a little easier for you to look at, so I'll be glad to send it over.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I will be glad to send all that information over for you to look at. I do like to be very thorough, so I'll have all that information in there. As far as our equipment, we do have Freightliners, Volvos, Kenworths. They're going to be 3 years old or newer. They come with inverters, refrigerators, smart TVs, and then refrigerators. Bunk heaters. Sorry if I repeated that twice. And some have EPUs, but not all of them.
Okay, so you said they're 3 years or newer. They have inverters, refrigerators, and a TV?
And bunk heaters.
Okay. And then what is your guys' tuition reimbursement?
So we reimburse up to $6,500. That does start when you become a solo driver, and that will be like, I believe it's like $59.69 on every paycheck once you become a solo driver.
Okay, and that's a specific fund. That's not coming out of the cents per mile or anything?
No. That will be added on top of that.
Okay, and you said $59.69 a week?
Yes, I know it's, yeah, $59.67, 69 cents, something like that.
Okay, sounds good. And then just a couple more quick questions for you. Do you guys have cameras in your trucks?
We do not have inward-facing cameras, but we do have outward-facing cameras.
Okay. And then what are your guys' trucks governed at?
They are governed at 65, and then all the trucks are going to be automatic.
Okay. Sounds good. You said you guys run east of I-35. Do you guys ever go out west at all?
I don't want to say no, and then you go out west, but we primarily run, east of I-35.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like if you're asking if we go to California or anything like that, no.
Okay.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. California, Arizona.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Awesome. I appreciate your time so much. Thank you for talking with me. I will be in touch if I decide to go with you guys.
Okay, absolutely. And like I said, I'll get this information sent over. And then if it is something that you want to move further with as well, I will definitely get with our operations too to see if we can do the drive-in. And then we can just go from there.
Oh, let me ask you. I'm sorry. Okay, so if I'm over here and I have to be on flatbed, do you guys pay for tarping?
We do, yeah. So actually 75% will actually come pre-tarped. Anytime you have to tarp or anything, that's going to be $30 extra.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Thank you so much. I'll look forward to that email, and I'll get looking over that and get back to you.
Absolutely. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to get all this together, send it over, and then I will touch base with you as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Caleb Recruiting, this is Jack.
Hi, Jack. I was calling to see about possibly going to your CDL training program. I was curious to get some more information about what that looks like.
Sure. And what state do you live in?
Tennessee.
Okay. I know we can bring in Class A permit holders from Tennessee to get into our Mississippi program. Do you have your Class A CDL permit?
No, I am training to go do that right now. I should be ready probably next week sometime to go and get that.
Okay, great. Well, yeah, I can connect you with our school. It may take just a second.
Okay.
Hello, Lynn Recruiting. How can I help?
Hi, I was calling to see what it would be like to go through your guys' CDL training program.
All right. What state are you out of?
Tennessee.
All right, so for Tennessee residents, we can bring you to Mississippi for training. You would have to get your Class A permit and a DOT physical before we could get you started.
Okay.
But once you have those, it would be an 18-day course. KLLM would provide you with a bus ticket to get to Mississippi if you didn't want to drive your personal vehicle. And then they will put you in a hotel room with a roommate for that 18 days. Breakfast and lunch are provided each day. Except for Sundays. Classes are Thursday through Saturday that first week, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., and then the remainder of the 18 days will be Monday through Saturday. So you'll have breakfast and lunch provided each day that you have class. And then after you complete the 18 days, they will send you back to Tennessee for you to get your Class A license. And then once you have that Class A license, they will dispatch you to go over the road with a trainer for 6 weeks. And that is where your pay with us would kick in at, and it would be $812 per week while you're out with that trainer. Once you complete that 6 weeks out with the trainer, then they will upgrade you into your own truck and start you out at 55 cents per mile, and miles average between 2,200 and 2,800 per week. Once you're on your own truck, home time is for every 7 days you're out on the road, you earn 2 days home. And you can choose to stack those if you wanted to be out 14 days, home 4, out 21 days, home 6. You could do that as well. But everything within the program would be paid for by KLLM, just pending that you sign a 12-month contract to drive for us after the completion. So there's no payroll deductions or anything like that. They help pay for the schooling. The only upfront cost to you would be you getting that permit, which most states it's about $28, and then your DOT physical, and that's just going to depend on what doctor you go to as far as the pricing on that.
Okay, so going through the CDL training, there is no pay while I'm getting my CDL?
No, there's no pay during that 18 days.
Okay, and then the contract would just be for just the education then?
Correct. Yeah. The training that we're giving at the school and that 6 weeks over the road with a trainer is what that 12 months is going to pay for.
Okay, and then you did say 55 cents per mile?
That's correct.
Okay, and then if I choose to go somewhere else for training to get my CDL, do you guys offer tuition reimbursement at all?
No, sir, we do not.
Okay, and then last two questions here. Do you guys have cameras in your trucks?
Forward facing towards the road, not towards the driver.
Okay, and then what are your guys' trucks governed at?
They are, hold on, I'm not going to ask that question a lot. 62 on the pedal, 65 on cruise.
Okay. And then is there any other things that are paid for as far as layover, detention?
Yes, they are. I have to get you over to one of the experienced driver recruiters. I don't really deal with that as a student recruiter.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. I am looking at my different options to figure out how to get this done here, so I will let you guys know if I decide to go with you.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Have a good day.
All right, thank you. You too. Bye-bye. Hi, I was calling to see what you guys do for employment. I'm looking to get into my first truck driving job. I should be graduating school this Friday.
Cool. So we'll have a drive-in route. It's out 10 to 12 days at a time, home 2 to 3. It runs everything east of the Mississippi, and it's drop and hook, no touch freight.
Okay, and being that I'll be graduating school, what does it look like to go out with a trainer?
So we bring you to orientation in Nashville, Tennessee. We provide your hotel, meals, and transportation for that. After the 3-day orientation, you'll go out with your trainer for roughly 2 weeks. It's performance-based training, and it's paid. So you get $500 a week or $71 a day if you don't drive the whole week.
Okay, you said 3 days of orientation and then 2 weeks out with a trainer?
Yep, and then you get your own truck after that and be home dispatched.
Okay, and then what is the cents per mile while I go local, or sorry, solo?
You would start out at 40, and then you get monthly safety bonuses that would equate to 2 to 7 cents per mile additional.
You said 48?
40.
40, okay. And then 2 to 7 cents of bonuses?
Yeah, the safety bonus a month.
What are the factors to be able to get that?
Clean driving, no tickets, accidents, anything like that.
Okay, so if there's no tickets, no accidents, it's automatically the 7. If there's so many, it bumps down, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's a good question. They don't. The driver managers are the ones that kind of deal with that. I'll get the exact stipulations. I just know it's 2 to 7 cents. That's a good question. I'll ask. We just recently did away with tuition reimbursement and it implemented this instead, so it's kind of a newer thing. But I will get the answer to that for you.
Okay, no problem. And then on average, how many miles are you guys doing a week?
2,500 to 3,000 at least. Right now it's peak season with the holidays coming up, so they're giving a lot. We had an operations meeting last week, and they said some are doing 3,500.
Gotcha. Okay. And then you said there's no tuition reimbursement. You guys just got rid of that. Do you know when the pay package change or anything was?
What do you mean the pay package? With the safety bonuses?
Yeah, the switch up there, whatever made the tuition reimbursement.
It's been a few months now.
Okay.
I think earlier this year.
Okay. Okay. And then last couple of questions. Oh, sorry. As far as the cents per mile, you said it started out at 40 cents per mile, and when would I start moving up in that?
You're 6 months.
So at 6 months, it would go to
42. It goes up 2 cents every 6 months.
Okay, so 2 cents every 6 months. Perfect. Okay, and then a couple more questions here. Do you guys have cameras in your trucks?
We do, inward and outward facing.
Perfect. And then what are your trucks governed at?
67.
67. Okay. And then do you guys offer?
It would let you go to 69, like cruise 67, but it would let you coast to 69.
Okay. All right. And then do you guys offer anything for veterans?
We do not.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you. Like I said, I'm calling around to figure out where I want to go to work for, and I'll be in contact.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Hi, I was calling to see, you guys offer a CDL training program, right?
That is correct.
Okay. I was calling to see if I can get some more information about that.
What questions can I answer for you?
Well, I mean, just what does the training program look like in order to get my CDL? Do I have to come on with a permit? Is there any pay while I'm going through that? Just all the general stuff.
Sure. So we would definitely want you to complete an application for us. We would look at your last 10 years of employment to include any schooling and or both. If we're able to navigate beyond the application, we would then look at a driving record on you and also a background. If all of those things were good, we would see if we can get you into the academy. So we have an academy there in Memphis. So we would see if we can get you there. The academy initially would be for 4 weeks. And for those first 4 weeks, it would be without compensation. The second set of 4 weeks would be over-the-road training with a mentor. And for that time, we would pay you $650 for each of those weeks. And then after which, we'd like to offer you a job.
Okay. If I were to go through your guys' CDL training, do you guys offer a contract? Like, would I have to serve a contract with you guys?
Well, I mean, if you're here with us for a year, that would be perfect.
Okay, so is it
hopeful to do
required?
something like this?
What's that?
How soon were you hopeful to do something like this?
I was calling around to see what other training companies there are. I'm just really interested in getting my CDL, probably after the holidays here.
Okay. Yeah, I think you were asking another question.
Yeah, is that a requirement to serve that 1-year contract? And if so, what would be the cost to me if I were to leave early?
So the total cost for the academy is $79.95.
And that's $7,995.
That is correct.
Okay.
So the way that it works is for the first year, you would pay $75 a week toward that. So at the year mark, you've only paid $3,900 of it. At that point, on the 53rd week, your terminal would then pay the balance, which is $4,095. And then once you're here 2.5 years, we would then start paying you $50 a week for 78 weeks, which pays you back the $3,900 that you paid in. Now, let's just say if you were with us for just a few months, you'd have to pay it all back.
Okay, so it's not like a depreciating situation where that $79.95 will go down each week, and then once it's done, like if I were to leave after 2 months, it wouldn't be less
You'd have
than
to pay it
$70.
all back at that point.
Okay, gotcha, understood.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, and then
So whatever you paid in.
Go ahead.
So whatever you paid in at that point, right? So let's just say if you were here for 2 months, you paid it for 2 months. Whatever the balance is after that, you'd have to pay that.
Okay, gotcha. So it does take away from that up until whenever I were to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay, and then after I go solo, you said 4 weeks over-the-road training at $650 a week with an over-the-road trainer. After that, we would go solo, and then what's the cents per mile on solos?
You could see yourself generating at that point anywhere from $1,000 to $1,300 a week.
Okay, and there's what would be the cents per mile? Because truckers aren't paid by a weekly amount. What would the cents per mile be?
Sure. So which truck would you be interested in? Dry van or?
Yeah, probably dry van to start, just till I get enough experience to do maybe something different.
Sure. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you that. And hopefully once you're done gathering all of your information, hopefully we surface at the top and you give us a call back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just doing my research to see what's out there.
Sure. Yeah. No, I totally get it. You always want to do that. So give me a second here. I'll give you that on drive-in. You're looking at about 43 cents.
43 cents per mile. Okay. And then
That
while
is
you
correct.
While you're on that, what is the pay progression for that? You said after a year the contract would be paid off. Is there pay progression, like a yearly increase on that?
Yeah, that would be discussed, once you're here. There would be opportunities for bonuses as well and an increase.
Okay, but that would be determined after that time?
That is correct.
Okay. And then last couple of questions here. Home time, what is your guys' home time policy?
So you would be out about 14 days at a time, and you'd be home 3 to 4 days at a time.
All right. And then if I choose to not go with you guys to get my CDL, what do you guys offer for tuition reimbursement? Do you guys have that?
Do not.
You do not have a tuition reimbursement?
Well, you're saying if you don't come with us?
No, if I were to go to a private institution to get my CDL through like a trucking school or something like that, and have a tuition after that, do you guys offer a tuition reimbursement for drivers with a CDL, just not any experience?
I think I understand what you're asking me, and let me look into that for you. And what other questions can I answer for you?
The tuition reimbursement, and then anything for veterans. Do you guys do like a?
We would ask. Yeah, we would definitely ask. Are you a veteran, by the way?
I am not, but I have a buddy that's also looking to possibly go team with me at some point.
Okay, got it. So we would definitely request a copy of his DD-214 and see, how we can help him out from that standpoint.
Okay. And then the other two questions I have were, do you guys have cameras?
In the trucks?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Both inward and outward?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then what are you guys' trucks governed at?
I'm sorry, say that last part again.
What are your guys' trucks governed at? A speed limiter?
That is a good question. I'm not sure on that.
Okay. Were you able to find anything on that tuition reimbursement?
Okay, I'll give you a call back.
Okay.
All right, sir. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You as well. Okay, so I guess he's not going to answer tuition reimbursement. However, the website right here says Swift has a tuition reimbursement program if you attend a third-party school. Awesome.